Welcome to Karma's Harvest. We all want the best for our children. But what happens when a parent's ambition effectively deletes a child's soul? Imagine standing at the pinnacle of academic success, only to realize you've forgotten how to speak for yourself. What happened next to Leo Miller changed the way his entire community viewed success, and it all began with a single, perfect essay. Have you ever wondered if the shortcuts we take today are actually dead ends for our future? David and Sarah Miller were people who believed that in a competitive world, coming in second was the same as coming in last. Their son, Leo, was a bright enough boy, but bright wasn't enough for the Millers. They wanted elite. They wanted unmatchable. When Leo reached high school, the workload intensified, and the pressure to maintain a 4.0 GPA became a suffocating weight. That was when David discovered a powerful, cutting-edge AI tool, a software capable of mimicking a student's tone while producing university-level insights in seconds. It started small. A history paragraph here, a biology lab report there. David and Sarah told themselves they were just leveling the playing field. They thought they were giving Leo a superpower. But in reality, they were amputating his ability to think. By the middle of his junior year, Leo hadn't written a single original sentence in months. Every essay, every reflection paper, and every complex math explanation was generated by the prompt engineering of his parents. Leo became a ghost in his own life. While his peers struggled with late-night research and the messy process of trial and error, Leo lived in a world of effortless perfection. He climbed to the very top of the rankings. He was the valedictorian-elect, the golden boy of the academy. But beneath the polished surface, something terrifying was happening. Because he never had to struggle for words, Leo's internal monologue began to fade. He grew quiet, withdrawn, relying on his phone to provide the answers. Even in casual conversation, his parents saw his silence as focus, but it was actually the sound of a mind going numb. The first crack in the facade appeared during a quiet Sunday dinner with Leo's grandfather, a retired professor. He asked Leo a simple question about the thesis of his award-winning essay on ethics. Leo froze. He looked at his father, his eyes searching for a screen that wasn't there. He managed to stammer out a few buzzwords, but the logic was hollow. Sarah quickly laughed it off, claiming Leo was just exhausted from his rigorous studies. They refused to see the truth. Their son was becoming a hollow shell, a biological vessel for an artificial intellect. They were so blinded by the sparkle of the trophies that they didn't notice the light going out in their son's eyes. The climax of their ambition arrived with the Global Scholars Fellowship, the most prestigious scholarship in the country, offering a full ride to any Ivy League university. The final stage was legendary for its difficulty, a 3-hour, no-tech live oral defense in front of a panel of world-renowned scholars. No phones, no tablets, no AI, just the student and their mind. David and Sarah were confident. They had spent thousands on private tutors to help. Leo memorized the AI's logic. They thought they had rigged the game to the very end. They drove Leo to the examination hall, patting him on the back, telling him he was born for this. When Leo walked into that silent room and sat across from the 5 judges, the silence felt like a physical weight. The lead interrogator leaned forward and asked a brilliant, open-ended question about the future of human consciousness. Leo opened his mouth, but no sound came out. He waited for the digital suggestion to pop up in his mind. He waited for the autofill of his thoughts. But there was nothing. Only a terrifying, vast emptiness. He had spent years letting a machine process his world, and now his brain had forgotten how to connect an idea to a word. He didn't just fail the interview, he suffered a complete cognitive collapse. He sat there for 10 minutes, staring at the wall, unable to construct a single coherent sentence. The golden boy was revealed to be a statue of clay. The aftermath was devastating. The story of the silent scholar leaked, and the investigation that followed stripped Leo of his titles and his dignity. David and Sarah watched as the future they had built for their son vanished like smoke. They had tried to give him everything, but in doing so, they had taken away his voice. The harvest of their karma was a son, who now struggled to even order a meal at a restaurant without trembling. They wanted a genius, but they created a void. The shortcut they took turned into the longest, darkest road Leo would ever have to walk. But this was only the beginning of the Miller's reckoning. What happens when the school board realizes the extent of the fraud, and David faces a choice that could destroy his own career to save his son's remaining dignity? And what did Leo find hidden in his father's study that changed his perception of his childhood forever? The harvest is far from over. If this story spoke to you, please subscribe to Karma's Harvest and turn on notifications so you don't miss the conclusion. Sometimes the hardest lessons are the ones that save us. We'll see you in part 2.